2Dawgs on the field, touchdown on the first sound. Last season, hype crowd screaming, what now? Too long gone, but never gon' punt now. Enemy blessing, but we ain't gon' shut down. Play action, quarterback, I'm Mr. Cannon. Joe and Yo together, iron is sharper than Shannon. Talking fake heavy, while the world plays short. 2Dawgs got a man at 25 like he is. Sports in the game. Dropping news like reporters from the sideline. Going live, yeah, it's about to be grind time. So tune in, or get left out. 2Dawgs Radio, droning, yo, the best out.
What's up? What's up? What's
As we wrap
up? It's the
another
2Dawgs Sports
insightful
Talk Show.
episode of In
Here,
the Know.
coming at you.
Remember that the journey to success is a
Today, we have a special going on today. You know how we do. It's a little pop up that we got going on today, cause we got some special guests here that we're gonna talk about a lot of interesting things that we supposed to talk about. Let me get back on this, get it situated here. Come on. There we go. All right, y'all. Y'all ready for this? We was get it cracking. You on here with Drone and Yo. What's going on, Yo?
Man, this it's Friday and it's warm, bro. It's Friday and it's warm.
Warm ain't the word, dog.
Yeah, man.
Cause that rain yesterday didn't help none, not a lick.
Hey, it poured yesterday, bro. I was like, man, what is this about?
I had to make sure it was raining. I heard something pattering on the house. I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on. I ain't see rain in the forecast. All of a sudden heard thunder. I said, oh, okay, here we go. And it wasn't a thunder that we wanted to hear, but it was thunder, you know.
And it was close. Yeah.
It was crazy. Hey, but we got a pop-up show for you today. I was on 4th and 22, Marcus Dupree's show, and Mr. Melvin Gilliam from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He said, hey, man, I need to come on your show. And then Marcus said, I'll be down there. I said, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can work something out to get us in here instead on Tuesday, get us in here on Friday. And you know, Bobby don't care. Bobby, long as the space is free, Bobby let you in. We good. Hey, but we got Mr. Melvin Gilliam in here. What's going on, sir? How's it going?
Doing well, man. Dealing with this heat out here, but other than that, it's all good.
Hey, you could be in some pads on the football field on some
turf. Not now. You couldn't pay me to get out there right now.
Yeah, it's hot, man. It don't make no sense. It's hot, man. Hey, man, let's talk a little bit about the game last night while we were still waiting on Marcus.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier before we got on the show, I think I think by 2 minutes left in the third quarter, I think Dagnall threw in the towel. I think he said enough is enough. We not fit to win this game. It's over, and because he set SGA down and SGA didn't come back in, which I think is a good thing because to give him rest. I think San Antonio jumped on him, and once again in San Antonio, the Thunder, they just could not hit shots. It wasn't that the defense was just staffing. They had open shots and just couldn't hit shots. They missed 14 shots in a row in the third quarter. Ain't nobody going to win doing that. What say y'all?
Most definitely. I think they knew they had Game 7 in their back pocket at the house, and so I think they went out to win, but Spurs was on the road, bro. You know, Wemby coming out hitting 3 threes first quarter. He was trying to set a tone and a precedent that he was not going to lose on his home floor in Game 6. But you still got to come back up I-35. And I think at Paycom Center, it's going to be, you're going to see the others play up to their full potential. And I think it will be another Thunder victory, and we're going on to the finals to face the Knicks.
What'd you say, Mr. Melvin?
I gotta agree with that, man. I picked Oklahoma City to win it all, man. I think they have that intangible thing, man, is what a lot of teams don't have anymore. They genuinely like each other.
Yes.
You know, They hang out with And sometimes when you have that playing in a team sport, man, they just play harder for each other. In this game 7, man, it's not normal for these guys to miss a bunch of shots. That's not what they do. They
Yeah.
hit shots. They don't miss shots. So last night they were a little off, but San Antonio came with a whole bunch of energy playing because it was on the line. It
Yeah.
was win or go home.
Yeah, then
So-
the nuns was there.
Exactly. I seen that too. I'm like, boy, they calling
They calling
all
everything, yeah.
night anthem. But yeah, man, that's what it was. That didn't surprise me that San Antonio won. I think it was intelligent for the coach to go ahead on and pull them out and let them rest and get them some rest for Game 7 at home, man. Because you look at it, San Antonio did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to win at home. You gotta win at home.
Yeah.
And if you don't win at home, you don't have a chance. So, they came out with all the energy and they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, and that's why I tell you, right, they did what was called to them. My thing is, I did not want the Thunder to come out and think, okay, well, we got this in our back pocket, so we ain't got to come out and play hard. But you have those nights where you just know that it's nothing that you can do. You're not supposed to come. That's just sports.
Right.
You have those moments where you can start off good and everything going, and after a while and that team just on the roll. After a while, you just like, okay, it don't matter what we do, we not supposed to win this. So I might as well just lay off, pull back, rest my player. To me, I still think Wemby was a little bit tired. It's what people underestimate. It's more than a notion to play 7 games straight against the same team. I know they probably say, well, regular season, they play 7 games. They go on a road trip. They play this and that. But it's different when you playing the same team with intensity that you got to win, and every game that you play is on the line. That is you got 80-something games during the regular season.
82.
So yeah, so every game is not on the line. So it's a different type of intensity, and so I think Wemby is I think the Spurs are starting to realize just what playoff basketball is about, because playoff basketball is a whole different animal.
Totally different, man, in every sport. I don't care if it's soccer. I don't care if it's lacrosse. I don't care what it is, man. And in the professional leagues, that's extra money.
Yeah,
Playoffs is extra money. Them cats play harder for that extra $100,000.
yeah, and you wouldn't think they do, but they're not really necessarily playing for themselves, the ones that's making the big money. They playing also for the players that's on the bottom of the bench,
right.
that's making $100,000 or $200,000. They playing for them because that money, it goes in handy for them. That's extra money that goes in their pockets.
The league minimum. Some of them guys is playing for the team minimum, and so they get in the playoffs. That's where they get that extra money. So they do, man, and it makes a difference. I don't know if the normal person who hasn't done it before realize how much harder they play in the playoffs.
Now, you played for the Eagles. Now, playing with Jerome Brown, Reggie White, things like that. Did y'all ever go to the playoffs?
Yeah, we got beat by the Bears.
So what was the difference? How big of intensity was it between that regular season and then the playoffs?
Totally different. It was totally different. You could literally tell it was different. The energy was different. The effort was different. I mean, they literally, like, you would play hard in the first quarter, kind of coast a little bit in the second quarter, come out at the beginning of the third quarter, play hard, and finish the last half of the fourth quarter hard, every game like that. But in the playoffs, they go all out the whole game, man. They play hard the whole game.
Now, you played in the era where the NFC East was the top dog.
Yeah,
they were the top dog. What was the same intensity, the same when you played Dallas, Washington, the Giants? Was it sort of similar to the playoffs?
Yeah, because we didn't like each other. Yeah, that was them games, especially Dallas. Dallas was tough. Redskins was tough. Just the NFC East period was rough. You had to come play or you got embarrassed.
So when you're looking at it, and like I said, you come from experience of playoff game. You come from Booker T, where y'all was always up there in that era in football and basketball. What's the difference of intensity as you went to college and then as you went to the pros, what was the difference in intensity?
Well, the difference was talent level, I think. Talent level, football IQ, and the speed of the game. That's what was different. From high school to college, the difference was, it was definitely a difference. High school, college. But college to pros was about that different. It was way different, man, because everybody is good. Those are the best players on every team all over the country. You have a team, your guys that was second and third string was some bad dudes, man. Just like in the NBA, those guys that's not getting to play, everybody say, oh, he didn't get to play. I said, but that's a bad man over there.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to play in the pop-offs when we used to have the guys come play in Tulsa, the Pigs pop-off, right?
Yeah.
And some guys would play that played for you. I remember the Utah Jazz. When a guy from Utah Jazz came down, never got to play. He was averaging like 35 in the pop-off. If you get a chance to make it, you're pretty good.
So
You're pretty good.
So when you first stepped on the field, did you ever feel like that you okay, did I really want to do this?
Man, let me tell you when I first saw it. I watched Reggie White, who was 6'4", 6'5", about 310, chase down a running back. Went forward, turned around, took an angle, and caught a running back. 310. That's not fair. That's just not fair, man. A dude that big, that fast, and he was one of many. He was one of many big guys that can run like that, man. Now on teams, these big guys now move so fast now, the speed of the game is ridiculous now. But the difference is I'm not so sure the guys now have the football IQ that the guys had back then. We used to study film and study the playbook and know that stuff inside out. We could look at a set and know what play they getting ready to run. And we calling out the offensive play that they getting ready to run because we studied it that much. And so I just don't think that level of IQ is there now. And the reason I think it is because their athleticism is so good. They big, they fast, they strong. So they figure I don't have to know all that. I can just go play football. And imagine if they did. The great ones, the Hall of Famers, is the ones that study the game and know it. And they big and they fast and they all of that other stuff.
Now, you was one of the most highly decorated recruits coming out of Oklahoma. What was that like? Because we want to talk about recruiting in now and recruiting then. What was that like? Being touted as one of the top players nationwide, and especially in Oklahoma, in football and basketball. What was that recruitment like?
Well, it was crazy for me, man. Being in the top 10 in both sports, football and basketball, I got recruited by every Division I. I got offered a scholarship by every Division I college in the country, football and basketball. So it was pretty crazy, man. I literally wouldn't go home sometime because there'd be so many coaches lined up and down the street. I would sneak home sometime and act like I wasn't there because it was just crazy. I did a narrative. Tulsa World let me kind of write my own stories about recruiting, about what I was doing. And that was the first time. I don't know if I've ever seen it done again, but I got to write my own recruiting biographies. Basically this week, okay, I'm going to University of Texas to visit, and then I would come back and write about how that trip was, and then I would leave and go to visit OU and get to write about what that was about. And so it was pretty cool, man. But when I tell you it was somewhat nerve-wracking because it was overwhelming. And that's what me and Marcus talk about right now. There needs to be something that kind of educate these kids on this recruiting process. Now that we got all this NIL stuff, it's a whole different animal. When we was doing it, that was illegal to get money like that. Now they leading with money. We can pay you this. We can pay you this. So the whole recruiting process that Marcus and I grew up in is gone. It's a totally different animal now.
So what was the latest a coach came to your house?
Man, my mother wasn't having that late stuff, man. You know, she basically said if you ain't in here by 8, you got to come back another day. You know, so we wasn't having that. But when I tell you, my whole street was lined up. This is when they was driving Lincolns. They was renting Lincolns. My whole street, man, it'd be about 20, 25 cars, 20 Lincolns were lined up down the street, waiting to come in and talk to me about coming to their university. It was a zoo, man. It was a flat out zoo.
So did you and your mother set a time? They got 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or how did it work?
It kind of went by me. And she could see if I was like, it's no good. You know,
Country boy, country.
That's my boy Marcus.
Country.
That's my boy Marcus. He gonna holler. If he could come in on a horse, he would.
Yeah, he country, man.
Come on in here, Marcus. Yeah, but yeah, man, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But I tell you, I wouldn't have traded it for nothing. It was an experience. And me and Marcus we're trying to come up with a program, man, that can help educate these kids, even on the recruiting process. You know, letting them know, man, that this is new, it's different, and y'all need to take this serious. You know, and understand how it was, because you get one time to get recruited. Now, like I said, they leading with money. We got guys going to 4 different schools in 5 years, chasing that money. You know, so they trying to come up with some new rules on that, but you know, we'll see how that goes.
So if you was able to change anything about how you was recruited, what would it be?
I'd like to be recruited with the way they giving money. Now, Marcus did something and showed kind of how if they came out now, how much money they would get. How much money? Marcus would be a little over $1 million. My thing was, I was getting it from both sports. I would be getting it from both sports. So I would have got well over $1 million. I don't know if I'd have went and played pro football. If I could have got
Mine said 12 million.
Yeah,
he
was low.
I wouldn't win pro.
Yeah.
No, I would have been chilling.
The voice y'all hearing is Mr. Marcus Dupree. He didn't come from Philadelphia, Mississippi, but he came from Mississippi, one of them country town. But you know how it go. You know how it go. What's going on, Mr. Marcus?
Not much, brother. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Glad to be seen and glad to be heard.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you when you came yelling all through the studio.
That's my dude. Man. That's my dude.
So when we're talking to Melvin about, we was talking about when he was recruited. I know you told a little bit of your story about how you was recruited on your 30 for 30, but some of the things that you would change about your recruitment process.
Not too much, because my mom had a schedule and how it was going to be, and they had to follow the rules. I probably would have tried to experience everything, because everything was like a whirlwind. You know, it was going by so fast. Me being a young kid, just trying to keep up with what was going on, and trying to play ball, and trying to play baseball, and just so much. And with so many coaches coming in telling you the same thing, same story. And I wouldn't say not enjoy it. Wasn't paying attention. You know, all the schools coming, I was like, hey, this is a good thing. But me and my friends and everybody was enjoying the school. It gave recognition to the school. I remember when Billy Sims came and he was walking down the hall. I mean, everybody came out of the classroom. And Earl Campbell, same thing. Everybody come out of the classroom. So it was just a whirlwind for a minute. And then when everything started to break down to final signing day, that was kind of a little pressure, but I already knew where I was going, because I called Coach Selvin at night And I said, Coach, we're gonna have a press conference tomorrow. And I remember Coach Selman saying said it on the 30 for 30. Are you gonna have me laughing? I'm gonna be crying. Which one? I said, Coach, I think you're gonna be smiling.
Now Marcus said about Billy Sims, Earl Campbell. Did you have any high touted athletes come to Booker T?
Well, I did. Well, really, most of the time I seen him was on my recruiting trip because right after football season, I went straight to basketball. So I really didn't get a chance to just sit and let them come. And usually the coaches came during the week, and on the weekends I was making them trips. I mean, right after football games, I was leaving to fly down to wherever I was going to take a trip. You know, I remember going to UT at Texas. After the basketball game, they had a Learjet waiting for me to get on that Learjet.
Yep, same thing.
Yeah, that's the way they did. They top recruits. You know, they fly them down on the Learjet.
Yeah, they fly right into Philly.
Exactly. You know,
Earl's waiting on the plane.
Right.
He's like, man, you want to dip a snuff? I said, man, yeah. I ain't dipped at that time.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, try this Skull. You know, he was doing the Skull Brother commercial.
Right.
Man, I was sick as a dog all the way to the
Yeah. I got to admit, I wasn't doing none of that. But yeah, man, that was the most exciting part because you got to go and you got to see guys that you was watching on TV. I remember Jerry Gray was at UT. He was drafted in the first round to the Rams. You know, Jerry Gray was. I get off the Learjet, he waiting for me. You know, and so it was pretty cool, man. That was the good part. You got to go places and see people that you only seen on TV, and it really don't hit you right away. But when you go through the process, when it's kind of finished, you say, "Man, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?" Yeah.
Now, because both of you all were so highly touted athletes in recruiting, how were you able to get your books? Your schoolwork, your grades.
I ain't have no problem because my mom was a school teacher.
There you go. We the same. My mother was a school teacher too. That was not an option.
No, it was not an option. No. I was gonna get my butt whooped if I didn't.
There you go.
Then I had my grandfather and grandma, and they lived next door, so you just wasn't getting out. I wasn't getting out of line, period. Because I had to go through 3 or 4 people to get my butt whooped. So I never had that problem of trying to get in trouble. I remember one time some guys, I think it was like the 8th grade or 9th grade. I was playing high school football in the 9th grade. So I was hanging out with the wrong people acting the fool in class. So we go to the office. So my high school coach was the principal. I mean, was in the office at that time. And he called my grandma.
Woo!
I said, oh. She said, why y'all calling me? She said, whoop his butt. And hung up the phone.
Whoa.
Man.
Yep. So
that sounds like my daddy.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, man, my mother was the same way. She was a school teacher, and getting your education was not an option. You know what I'm saying? I remember we getting ready to play OU in Bedlam my sophomore year. Coach told us at practice, okay, y'all, look, no class this week. I don't want you going to class. I want you to study film. We're going to practice, and we're going to do all this. I said, hold up, Coach. I said, you going to call my mother and let her know that I don't have to go to class? My coach said, Melvin, you go to class. Yeah. My coaches didn't play with my mother, so ain't no way I wasn't going, you know.
Right. Exactly.
So when y'all went on y'all recruiting trips, did y'all have to take your books with you because you had to make sure that you turned in your work, or did you get passes from the teachers that gave you a little bit extra time?
I pretty much got passes. Like I said, my high school coach, and then the ex-high school coach was the superintendent. So I just had all my work done before I left on Friday.
Right.
Because I didn't go on no trips.
Right.
Right after during football season. She said, "No, you ain't doing that. You go after, because you got other things to do." So that's when I went on my trips. Only one I think I went, it really wasn't official, because you could go on a recruiting trip, but it wasn't an official recruiting trip. So I would go to ball games on Saturday, hang out, me and my friends, and so that's about it for us. The recruiting trips every week. After the game, I couldn't leave. She wouldn't let me leave.
Yeah, I did that, man. I always took care of my stuff ahead of time.
Right.
even in college, because I play, like I said, I played football and basketball. So during basketball, you'll go on a road trip. You'll play on Tuesday, you'll play on Thursday, you'll play on Saturday, and it could be a whole road. So I wasn't at school the whole week. So what I would do is I would give my teachers, if we had a test that week, I would take the test early. So I would have the test. But if not, they was lucky. I had tutors sometime that would go with me if it was something I was having trouble with. But yeah, man, it was college was the toughest part, playing 2 sports in college and still trying to graduate.
Exactly.
That was pretty difficult.
I'm sure.
You know?
Yeah.
That was pretty tough.
Well,
man.
I have a question for both of y'all. When did y'all fall in love with football?
That's gonna be crazy. Go ahead, Marcus.
I guess I had to be like 3rd or 4th grade. It wasn't that I fell in love with it. You know, you just played at, like, it was football season, you played it. It was baseball season. My mom's yard was where everybody came to. And so football season, I don't care if it was raining or whatever, especially on Sunday, we go watch the New Orleans Saints. After the New Orleans Saints, everybody come to my mom's yard, and I don't care if it's raining, snowing, or whatever, we suited up, and we out there playing. But I guess, because I love I actually like baseball more than I like football. But nobody back then was really pushing to play baseball like they do now.
Right.
So I batted .499 in high school. If I ain't hit it over the fence, I'm striking out. So
I knew a dude like that in Stillwater named Pete Incaviglia.
Yeah, I remember Pete.
Pete was like that. Pete hit home runs or he struck out. That's what he was. And me, man, I never really liked football. I liked basketball. You know, I played basketball, I played baseball, I ran track, I played football, you know. But my thing was basketball. I loved basketball. I really didn't want to play football. But then the intelligent part kind of kicked in, and you look at it, and basketball is 15 guys. Football is 54 guys.
Right.
I said, I got a shot at being one of the top 54. You know? So let me do the smart thing and go play some football.
Right.
You know, but yeah, man, I liked it, not as much as basketball though. Yeah.
So what was the difference between recruiting now and recruiting back then? What do y'all think the difference is?
money.
The money. The money is the biggest difference, man. I look at these kids now, man, and they lead with the money.
Money.
They lead with the money. They lead with all the wrong things to me.
Right.
You know, but you gotta deal with the money part, you know. But I'm saying this, what about what's the graduation percentage rate on your team? You know, your guys graduating? That's an important question, man. And I don't get it because these kids is going to school for 4 years. They there.
Right.
Why not go to class and get your degree? You there.
But the problem is they ain't in class.
There, they not going.
They doing everything online. Because
Yeah.
I called my grandson one day, I was like, did I catch you in class? He said, no, Papa, I don't go to class. I do my homework right here at the house.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Online classes, yeah.
That's the way it is now, man. And that's one of the biggest differences, man. If I didn't go to class, I probably wouldn't do the work.
Bruh.
I had to go to class.
And,
man. I
and,
had to
tho-
be
and
there.
those were my question I asked. If y'all had online classes when you all were in school,
I couldn't do it.
what would it have been like?
I couldn't stay focused.
I couldn't do it, man. It's
No.
too many distractions
Right.
at home, man.
Right.
These kids got their PlayStations, they got their cell phones, they got all this stuff at home. And I don't know if you knew it but you know, when we had that COVID stuff and classes when people was doing it at home, our kids wasn't doing no work, man.
No.
They wasn't these high school kids, these middle school kids, man, they wasn't. Some kids got to graduate by default.
And then, they give us the syllabus.
Yeah.
So my mom made sure, send me that syllabus. So I can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I said, well, Mom, why you got my syllabus? Why don't you do something this
So obviously your mama knew something.
Yeah.
If I don't keep up with Marcus,
Right.
he might not do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, Marcus. I was too scared of my mama for that, bro. I was so scared. I wouldn't even bring homework home, man. I would do my homework at school and put it in my locker. So, because when I came home, she was so tough on us, man, to make sure everything was exactly right. And I'm like, let me do this
That's
at
it. And my mom was
school.
a high school English teacher and a literature teacher.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, man. And I tell you, we looking back on that now. I don't know about you, Marcus, but man, I'm so glad that my mother was like that
Yeah,
and
me
saying,
too. Yep.
this is not an option, bro. You fixing to do this, you fixing to get this. So I was so glad, man.
And that's the only thing I regret not finishing my degree. So,
Yeah.
And I stay on my grandson about, he got 12 hours left. You got to finish this degree. You're going to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12 hours. You that close. Yeah, that's only 3 classes.
That's a
That's it.
semester.
Yeah,
man.
that's
That's a
3
semester.
classes away. Go ahead and
Right.
finish that degree
Yeah.
and get it over with. Ain't no sense of wasting all that time.
You
Right.
came too far, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Too far to not
That's it.
finish now.
That's
Yeah.
it.
One
That's
semester.
It.
But yeah, man, that's the biggest difference, I think, man. These kids is asking now in recruiting, who y'all with? Nike, Adidas?
Right.
Who y'all with? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Who you with?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they leading with. How many uniforms you got?
Right.
That's what they leading with asking the coach on their recruiting trip. That's the stuff they talking about,
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. We're gonna talk some more NIL, some more recruiting here with Mr. Marcus Dupree and Mr. Melvin Gilliam on the 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show.
2Dawgs. This is studio open up. I went in the wrong studio.
You went in the
What? Hey, Trey, you know this one gonna be crazy. That girl, through the roof. Yeah, ain't no limits. Know the grain, so the vine, we on business. Told the line, blow your mind, we on Guinness. Did the grain, not the time, like a witness. New beginnings, ain't no limits. Know the grind, so the vine, we on business. Told the line, blow your mind, we on Guinness. Did the crime, not the time, like a witness. Like a Guinness. We got favor all around, now you see the team. Swore it tough, when they get to cutting, they gon' flee the scene. Had to thank the Lord for the suffering, then he intervened. I done been down bad, scratching for any means. I done been out bad, scratching with the outcast. Tryna smell the roses when it's bombs over Baghdad. Jesus told me back that this ain't about no ass cap. I was just a Jew.
The Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive. Reaching the community, the Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, Tulsa. I see you here in Tulsa. I'm in Tulsa chillin'.
We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
Hey, this is Ralph Johnson of Earth, Wind & Fire, and whenever I'm in Tulsa, I'm tuned in to KBOB 89.9 on the FM.
Hit a slam dunk like man up. Enemy salty, he ran up. It's a foul move and one. We say man. Jesus out all my life. I'ma shine bright as a light. I don't need diamonds to shine. I just keep God on my mind, dawg. Giving my altar like sign, Watch me clean like pine saw. be the reason I be rapping, singing in the hood and trenches. I don't need a mention. This some time in prison. I got rescued, not arrested. Now I'm living. I be Holy Spirit sipping, Bible toting. I was chosen for this moment. Devil choking home. If you don't believe me, take a look. A few years ago, I paroled. I was in the basement, just a bed and clothes. Prayer work, I'ma let you know. Now I'm saving souls all around the globe. Preaching Jesus' name, it's the only hope. Yeah, yeah. He's our only hope. He's our only hope. He's the only one that can save our soul, yeah. Devil getting mad cause his tactics whack. I be stopping on the devil like back to back, yeah. Back to back, like back to back, yeah. Back to back, like back to back.
Got that pit with the assist. Presume was Kurt with the dish. MJ follow 2 fish. Isolation, big rich, yeah. All we do is win. Resist the devil's sin. Back to feed.
Welcome back to the 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show. We're here on KBOB 89.9 FM. All right, y'all, there's a big camp coming up on July the 11th here in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Broken Arrow Tiger Stadium. The Robert Meacham and Friends Youth Football Camp come out from ages 6 to 16. You're going to have former Booker T. Washington Hornet, Felix Jones, former Central Brave, Willie Ponder, former Union Red Hawk, Trey Brown, former Glenpool football player, Chris Harris, and then former McLean Scott, Mr. Prentice Elliott. They all going to be out there with Robert Meacham. It's a big camp. Don't miss it. You want to come out here. It's for ages 6 to 16. It's the Super Bowl champion Robert Meacham and Friends Youth Football Camp. Come train with champions. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Tiger Stadium on July 11, 2026. You must be registered, and the flyer is on the 2Dawgs Facebook page. So just go to the 2Dawgs Facebook page and register your children right now. All right, y'all. Let's finish this. It's talking. We're talking with Mr. Marcus Dupree and Mr. Melvin Gilliam, and we're talking about recruiting the NIL and what it's like. One question I wanted to have is social media. Social media plays a big part in recruiting now, because you only get so many recruiting trips, and coaches can only touch players and talk to players so many times. But social media is a big thing. What do you think the difference that social media has made in recruiting?
Big time difference. I was talking to a reporter, 24/7 Rivals, and he was like, Marcus, what if you would have had social media back then when you came out? You didn't have no social media, and people knew about you all across the country. I'm like, there's no telling. I mean, I when I go do speaking engagements and guys walk up to me and be like, Marcus, we came way from Kentucky and watch you play on Friday night. We load up in a van and we come watch you play. I mean, for a 2A high school to have 5,000 people in the stadium and no seats, I mean, literally no seats.
5,000 people is probably more people than y'all had in the whole
That's
town.
right. I'm going to keep it real. I was the economic impact.
Yeah, you should have been on payroll a long time ago, bro.
Thank you.
You was adding tax dollars, bro.
My friend Wayne is the one who brought that up. He said, "Man, do you realize what economic impact you had on Philadelphia back then?"
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. But yeah, the little hotels we had were packed. The restaurants made money. So for a small town 2A high school, it was packed on. There's a guy came on TikTok the other night, not long ago. I had to send it to y'all. His name is Big Swole. He played with Gary James at that time. Me and Gary like number 1 and number 2 running top players in the country. So the egg was off, and he said he came up to Philadelphia, and his cousins lived there. He said, "Man, we're gonna slip off since we ain't got no game tonight. Let's go watch this Dupree dude." So they come up there, and him and about 4 other guys, and his cousin said, "You got to be here by at least 5 o'clock." He said, 5 o'clock for what? He said, "Man, it's like a concert." So he said they got there. You can look it up. His name Big. I had to find it. And I was shocked when he said that. I said, "Man, that dude got a good memory." And so they got there, and he said, "Man, it was like the Beatles showed up." He said, "Man, when the Marcus team came out," and he said, "Man, the the team, I mean, the crowd just went crazy. He wasn't lying. It was just like, that was the best time of my life, my junior year, because with nobody play us, we played 5A, we played 6A, we whooped everybody. And when nobody play us. And so that's what he was saying, like, man, Marcus had 350 yards on 5 touchdowns. And he said that on the way back, he said, all his friends said, well, who going to tell Gary? He said, I ain't telling Gary. So Gary, like, you know, he's big time. And me and Gary friends now. Gary James played at LSU. So, but you had to watch that TikTok. It was funny. And he said, man, he was 6'3", 230, running a 4.340. He had 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. He said, man, I ain't never seen nothing like it. He returned kicks, he returned punts, he played free safety. He said, man, it's like I was watching God play football.
Think about that, man. Think about that. Ask him how big his linemen were.
He was bigger than the lineman.
Exactly. So I said that to him when I first met him. I said, look here, man. Who was tackling you? He said, nobody. You know, the biggest dude we played against was Lydell Carr.
Oh, wow.
You know, Lydell Carr was a tailback
Right.
in high school.
He went to what?
Enid. Yeah, you know, they beat us in the championship my junior year, and that's when we was up for the national championship. If we'd have won that game, we'd have been national champions that year. We ended up being number 3 in the nation, and we lost.
Wow.
Number 1 team lost, number 2 team lost. And we were number 3. All we had to do was win, and we lost. Lydell Carr, man, that was the biggest dude I ever seen, man.
Yeah.
And I'm playing free safety, and I'm telling my front guys, hey, man, y'all need to tackle this big old dude, man, before he get back here, you know? But yeah, man, I couldn't imagine. I used to tell people all the time, I'm glad Marcus was older than me. Bruh.
Now you played. Because Booker T wasn't no slouch.
No.
Right.
And the crowds was crazy.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about because I was in elementary, middle school. We come to football. Everybody's at Booker T's football game.
Oh man, standing room only.
Did
man.
Tony Rayburn play at Booker T?
Tony played at O.C. Douglas in Oklahoma City.
Okay,
Yeah, so that was our rival.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
same color, same school.
That's what I'm looking at the color,
Yeah.
so that's why I
Yeah.
got confused.
Yeah.
man.
So what was that like? Because both of you played. Because even basketball,
Right.
the crowds was
Oh
packed.
man, standing room only, man. If you notice,
Because my brothers then went to Central.
right.
So we go to Central game. It's packed. Central hanging with them for about first half. Third quarter, it was like Oklahoma City Thunder. They pulled away.
Yeah, man.
And
I
the
tell
game
you,
was over.
all I know is, man. See, I grew up. All my mother was a Miss Hornet. My father was an athlete at Booker T. So my whole family went to Booker T. My oldest brother, Ron, all the way to me. So I remember going to the football games, playing football in the end
Yeah.
zone with some cups.
Right. Yep.
You know, we playing throw up.
Yeah.
You know, so Booker T tradition just was all through my family, you know, and so by the time I remember they built that fence around the stadium, around the football field, because the crowds were so big, they was on the field.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they had to
It
build
was
that
packed.
fence
Yeah.
around it so people couldn't get past that fence.
So that's why they built the.
That's why they built the
okay.
fence, man.
Because
So
it
when-
used to be wide open.
yeah, and when my oldest brother was playing, they didn't have that fence. When my other brother started playing, they had to put that fence up. So I mean, literally, man, people used to black businesses used to shut down to come to Booker T's game.
Wow.
You know, so it was nothing to play in front of a few thousand people, man.
Wilson's Barbecue got their best business after a Booker
Oh
T
my
game.
God, standing room only, man.
You wasn't getting that Wilson's Barbecue for that at $2.50 brisket.
No, you
Order
ain't
a brisket
lying.
sandwich.
I can still see her in the back with that.
Yeah, with
cleaver.
that chopper, yeah.
Boom, because I was in there. I remember this. Booker T was so competitive, man. We used to have hijinks, and, you know, we had entertainers at Booker T. The Gap Band came from Booker T. We had guys that could sing, and during school, we would have these talent shows, and these cats had the women just going, the girls going crazy singing. I said, that's all right, we got a football game tonight. Come on back to the football game. Come on back. It'll be our turn tonight, you know. But yeah, man, it was just amazing that the talent that came out of this school, man. People don't realize how much talent came out of there. The NFL came and gave Booker T an award because they had the most guys from one school going to the NFL. They got an award. NFL came to Booker T and gave him an award for that because for one school to have this many pros coming out of it in a little town, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was small compared to L.A.,
Right.
Georgia, you know, it was amazing, man. So playing in front of big crowds, that's why when I got to college, it was no big deal, man. Playing in front of
That's it.
60, 70,000, man, it was
With no
it was
big
it
deal.
was nothing.
So if y'all can change anything about recruiting today, what would you all change? Because I know the NCAA, they trying to, not the NCAA, the government trying to get involved and legislate stupid stuff, which I think they need to keep they can't even run the country, let alone run the NCAA. But that's a whole nother story.
Right.
What is it that you all would change about recruiting today?
I would say now I don't have a problem with the kids getting money, but I would think it needs to be put back and say, okay, we're gonna give you this amount of much money now, but you're gonna have to work for the rest of the money for like incentives, like an NFL contract. You know, you do this, then you get this. You do this, then you get this. Instead of just giving them a bunch of money and a bunch of products and all that kind of stuff, they really don't. I think that takes away the burn, the desire to climb that hill. Because if you hadn't climbed that hill, then if you don't climb the hill and put some kind of effort and desire into what you want to do, then I think it's a lost cause. You know, you giving all these kids this money up front. I understand that it can get hurt, but there's also Lords of London. We talked about that today.
There's ways to get around it. That's right.
So I think giving all this money up front and is giving the kids a different outlook to me.
Michael Jordan said it best to me. Michael Jordan said he doesn't think they should get all of that money and they haven't proven themselves
Right.
yet. You know, and I agree, man. I'm all for these kids getting paid. I think that they are the widget.
Right.
Without them, TV is not coming. And that's where the big money is, TV.
Right.
So I think them getting money, but it has to be some controls put in to say, okay, you get this amount of money and this other money got to get put up.
Right.
And we're going to put it up in something that's interest bearing and it's going to make some money for you. And the only way you get to that other money is if there's something like hospital or something happens to one of your family members that need
Stipulations.
Exactly.
Yes.
There got to
Gotta
be
be
some
some-
controls
that's
in
it.
there to where, because these kids now, we know now from seeing it, these kids are coming out now, and how many of them just in Georgia? Didn't we just
20.
read that?
I said like 25.
Had
the
to file
first year,
bankruptcy.
The first year NIL, I
Yeah.
think 25 kids filed bankruptcy.
Had to file bankruptcy. That lets you know. And to me, the school should be educating them on this because the school is giving them the money. They should be educating them on how to, teaching them the value of money.
Right.
That's what I really want to say because that's what I do in financial literacy. I want to teach these kids, to have money, you need to understand money.
Right.
And that's not what's going on. These guys is getting it, and they going and buying cars. What was the guy that got drafted just this year? Went and bought 3 Porsches with his son and he broke. He broke. He hadn't paid taxes yet. He hadn't paid his agent yet. He hadn't paid anybody. And Uncle Sam coming to get his off the top.
Yeah.
And he hadn't done none of that. So before the season started, this dude ain't got no money now. So, the education has to be there. And I think the universities should be responsible for having these kids. And if they not going to do it, me and Marcus going to do it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
You know what I'm saying?
We definitely going
fixing
to do it. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Because we can't sit back and see that there's a need and not address it.
Right.
That's just the kind of people we are. I don't know if it's because we come from educators. I don't know what that's about. Or we genuinely care.
Right.
And I go down to Stillwater still today, and I work with the basketball team, and we have financial literacy, and I catch them and I talk to them, and I'm brutally honest, and I can be brutally honest with them because I sat in them seats.
Right.
Right.
I went through what they going through. you know, and I'm saying, guys, this is critical and it's important. It's 15 of y'all in here, and I might get to 2 of y'all. I might get to 2 of y'all.
So what would you all? Because you got the transfer portal now, not just NIL,
Right.
but you got the transfer portal where players are leaving because they not satisfied, but then they also leaving because of more money.
Right.
What would you all do to try to change the transfer portal from the way it is now to where it should be?
Well, didn't they just move it back to you can only transfer one time?
That's what's
It
being
hadn't got
That's
approved
what, that's
yet.
what they
It
talk.
hadn't
That's
got
what they
approved
want to
yet.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's cool right there. But I think the only way you should transfer is if the coach leaves. Otherwise, you got one time to transfer, and you can't transfer no more.
I think that's the way it should be. I
Yeah.
think you should get 5 years, period.
Right.
5 years. We got kids going to 4 schools in 5 years. That
Yeah.
you can't. It kills everything, you know. So I think you should get one transfer, and regardless of when you start, you got 5 years.
Yep.
That's it.
So basically, you get one transfer without any penalty.
Correct.
After that, it's a penalty, or you just can't transfer at all.
That's right. And it still counts as one of your years.
Years. You lose a year.
So you lose a year. So they gotta put something in there like that. I like some of the rules that they trying to do because it's gonna bring back some of the commitment.
That's it.
These cats ain't got no commitment when they can chase it every year to go to 4 schools in 5 years. That's ridiculous.
And you got
man.
older guys playing against
Yeah.
young kids.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
they gotta put something in for that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what LSU is doing, man, in basketball. They got cats. One dude got drafted by the Celtics. Couple of dudes played pro ball overseas, and they coming back playing 25, 26 years old, playing against some 18, 19-year-olds, man. That ain't even gonna be fair.
Thank you.
Could you imagine if we went back and played in college?
If
Come
y'all were
on,
healthy,
man. Come on, man. Yeah.
To be murder.
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 That's what I'm saying, man. They gotta figure this out, man. Because right now it's the Wild Wild West right now.
that's something I always say. We've talked about it on this show before about the transfer portal, about that they have to do something where you just can't just leave all willy-nilly. Right now, you can just leave all willy-nilly, go wherever you want to go. Don't be penalized. You cannot build any kind of camaraderie. You can't build a team because you got new players coming in and out. And so, you know, I think the NIL has done a disservice because it has caused people where they have went into the transfer portal to chase money.
And then they stuck in there.
Yeah.
Nobody picks you up.
Yeah.
I think the record is, I think they said 40% of the people that go in the portal don't get picked up.
Right.
40%, man, that's a big number.
But
That's
I
a
think
big number.
it's also hurting the high school kids.
Oh, big time.
Because the high school children, unless you just all that,
4 or 5 star.
a lot of them is not getting recruited.
Oh no.
And so, because they're getting players at the transfer portal, it's hurting them because they don't have the experience.
Right.
That's why I tell anybody, I don't have no problem with you going to a junior college. I think right now, junior college used to be frowned upon.
Right.
I tell anybody now, I tell young people now, hey, go to a junior college. Because right now, a lot of these coaches are not recruiting high school players.
That's it.
They recruiting out to junior colleges. Go to a junior college, get your stats up, get your skills up, go there for 2 years, and then get re-recruited.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's where it is now. Because the transfer portal is so willy-nilly and loosey-goosey. Gone to the junior college. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if you're going to a good one.
Yeah.
Make sure you search it out just like you would a 4-year school. Search out that junior college just like you would anything.
That's what happened to my grandson. His team was number 2 in the state. I know he had 10 guys on there could have went D1, but they couldn't because they were high school kids. So he went to a good junior college, was Mississippi Gulf Coast. And they always have a good team. Them or East Mississippi. Y'all seen the Comeback Academy, whatever that was on, was it HBO? Netflix. And so I told them, if you can play in Mississippi JUCO football, you can play anywhere in the country because it's tough.
That's true, man. You got to do that.
One thing about the transport portal that I don't like is now schools are losing the loyalty, the you know, us in Oklahoma, you either want to be a Cowboy or a Sooner.
Right.
You know, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now when you see guys jump from school to school to school, and you be like, does he really understand the program, where he's at? You know, like if you play basketball for Kansas, that's a big thing.
Right.
You know, that's a blue blood. And I don't understand if the youngsters nowadays understand what playing for a blue blood
They don't.
is.
No.
They don't.
Legacy. That's
No,
what I tell kids
that's
all the
it.
time. I tell kids at Booker T, we speak to the kids at Booker T, and I say, what is going to be your legacy? In college, these kids is going from school to school to school. They will have no legacy. Marcus has relationships with guys he played with. I have relationships.
Exactly.
We got a texting group where me, Thurman, Hartley, Barry, it's about 15 of us. And we texting each other 6, 7, 8 times a day. That's because we stayed and we played together.
Right.
And we built that camaraderie, and that's what we had. That was our legacy, you know? And so these kids will never have that. You ask them, what's going to be your legacy? You done went to 4 schools in 5 years. You don't even know your teammates. How many of your teammates, dudes used to come home with me on the weekend sometime off season. They'd come home with me. We built camaraderie. Dudes from OU, Keith Jackson used to come down to Tulsa and hang out with me in the summer all the time. You know, we built camaraderie.
Right.
We only hated each other during the game.
Yeah.
After the game, we was boys.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
So, but we built that kind of camaraderie because we stayed and we respected each other, and that's what it was. They have no clue about that now.
But you was able to develop that hate.
Right.
Because you very seldom seen an OU person that say, I'm a transfer porter and go to OSU.
Oh, yeah.
That was unheard of,
Right.
especially a transfer from OSU
Or
and go to
vice
OU.
versa. Yeah,
Right.
and it's been
That
happening.
didn't happen. Now that's what you got. You have OSU players going to OU, because you're searching to try to get some playing time instead of competing. If you're good enough,
Right.
go ahead and compete and win your spot.
Right.
That's just the way I see it.
That's it. That's it. Because I came in, I was number 9, because it was 10 running backs. I was probably 9 or 10.
Yeah, 'cause you was that running back, you.
Right. I'm like, shoot, I got to get it. I said, they don't even know. They don't even have a clue what they in for. I'm from Hard Time, Mississippi. I'm finna get it.
We said the same thing. I came to Stillwater, and the strength and condition coach said, ain't no way a kid your size going to play in the Big 8. I said, clearly you don't know me.
Right.
I said, so check me out. Just check me out. Yeah, but they really thought like that, and we were competitive like that.
Right.
On the depth chart, we wasn't on the depth chart, and we saying, oh, just check me out. Watch this, because
Yep.
that's finna change.
I remember-
But that's where we came from.
I remember Jackie Chip came up to me in the lunch for the first scrimmage. He said, oh, we finna find out what you all about. You supposed to be all this big All-American, #1 player in the country. I said, you will. You will, Jackie. I had 150 yards on 9 carries on the first team defense.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're gonna talk. I want to know about the coaching, the coaching then and coaching now. When we get back here on the 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show.
Hey, y'all got a charger for
Mercy, know it so well. Should've wrote this from a cold cell. Now I'm praying on the floor of my hotel. Riding on the devil, taking no L's. They said don't do it cause it won't sell. Now look, we ain't taking no L's. God say gold and it won't fail. Now look, we ain't taking no L's. What did you think? I run dry when my supply is the king. I run high, deny and sign with the beast. I wouldn't ride or die for what I believe. Mike could try me and see what you think I'd like for 500 G's. When I could get by and still I provide for my seed. Never having to feed yours when mine wouldn't eat. Real one, player for a hater. All day, rub it in their face.
Hey, Tulsa. Do you have something to say that everyone needs to hear? Have you ever thought about starting your own radio show podcast? If so, I have the answer. You need to be down here at KBOB 89.9 FM. You can reach us at 832-443-9499 or go to our website at KBOB899.com. You will be streamed on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Get your message out. We need to hear what you've got to say. Give us a call today. That's 832-443-9499. We'll be waiting.
The 36th Street North Event Center is proud to kick off another great season of social gatherings with family and friends. And no matter what the size of your next event, the 36th Street North Event Center has you covered. From event decor to live DJs, even catering, and a world-class sound and lighting system, 36th Street North has your event covered. We offer a state-of-the-art event booking and planning process from start to finish. And whether you're hosting 100 or 1,000, 36th Street North Event Center is the premier event center of North Tulsa, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. Share the experience at 36th Street North Event Center and see why we are the #1 choice for upscale events. From weddings to birthdays, corporate functions, holiday parties, and so much more. Visit us today at 36theventcenter.com or call and reserve your spot at 918-200-9046.
Hey, Tulsa. Do you have something to say that everyone needs to hear? Have you ever thought about starting your own radio show podcast? If so, I have the answer. You need to be down here at KBOB 89.9 FM. You can reach us at 832-443-9499 or go to our website at KBOB899.com. You will be streamed on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Get your message out. We need to hear what you've got to say. Give us a call today. That's 832-443-9499. We'll be waiting.
Hey, it's Alfred Woodard. When I'm in Tulsa, I keep it on KBOB. That's how I find out what's really happening. KBOB 89.9 FM.
Talking the gospel, you're talking irrelevant. Addressing the elephant in the room, and our Savior's knocking, just let him in. And I never met a sin that he can't deliver. You say he's the medicine. Dr. Abba, your honor, your judgment is righteous, and Christ is my lawyer, I'm innocent. Hard heart made me hard-headed. There's some things that I regretted. God talking, but I wouldn't get it. People talking like I know where he's headed. Death had me, but you wouldn't let it. Jeremiah 29:11 said it. That is fire in my bones, check microphones, brings I'm paid, no longer indebted. Elohim Adonai, Elion. El Shaddai, praise till I'm gone. Godly sorrow, repentance, salvation, how he rights my wrongs. Songs of praise like David. Victory, victory, wave it. Was headed to hell in a handbasket. My life, Jesus saved it.
Hey, I've been walking through the desert, need a break. Life is hard and I got so much on my plate. So when I wake up, this is how I start my
Welcome back to the 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show here on KBOB 89.9 FM. All right, we need y'all. Make sure y'all tune in to 4th and 22. It's a show by Mr. Marcus Dupree. It's a show on 4th and 22 where some of the stuff that we talk about now you're gonna hear on 4th and 22. It's on all social media platforms. It's on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're in the West Coast, that's 6 o'clock your time.
Right.
I mean, that's 5 o'clock your time. If you're in the East Coast, that's 8 o'clock your time. 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
We're going to have Big Dog on every week. Melvin going to come on when he got time. Yeah. But this week's subject going to be about what's the percentage of when a parent, let me put this right. Let me get it right. If you're a parent and you make it to the pro level, what's the percentage of your offspring making it to that level?
Right.
What's the difference? Why they don't make it?
Different time, man.
Because they got the DNA, they got a better chance of making it just because the bloodline. Mm-hmm. But do they have the heart? Yeah. Do they still have the same desire? So that's what we're going to talk about next week.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, man. That's gonna be a good show, bro.
That's interesting. That's
I'm gonna have to get in on that one.
Yeah. Everybody gonna come back. I like it. Everybody's talking about the panel that we had on this week, and they want to say, well, Brian couple, because one of my cousins, she's a girl, and she was like, I want to come on there and talk. I know football, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to bring you on then, little lady. We're going to bring you on.
All right. We ain't going to take it easy on me.
No, don't get petrified.
We had a girl in my neighborhood, right? She was older than us, but she thought she could play football. So we had our little team. Like on my street, we were called the Booker T Bombs. Then around the corner in the project, you had the project, whatever we call them. You know, on the other couple streets down, you had there was a whole family. Their whole team played on the team. They had that many kids. They were called the Benny Street Bears. So we always meet on the Booker T field, and so she wanted to come play. So we said, okay, come on. I just saw her post something up on Facebook to my homeboy Michael. Said, man, you almost broke my arm. We tried to kill her. Say, okay, you ain't gonna come back out. You will come out one time. We tried, man. So yeah.
No, we had one in our neighborhood because we named Dina Richardson.
She played football with y'all?
Yes.
Really?
She didn't play. She'd hit you too.
Really?
She'd hit you. Yeah. She had an older brother named Brian. And then you had her, then you had a younger brother named Jeff. But Dina hit you. She'll play. We play throw up football, everything. She'll hit you, boy.
We had girls playing basketball. We didn't have none playing no football.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to play. Till they come out down on the Booker T Bomb field.
Yeah, man. Because the girls, they had this team called the Kangaroos. And them girls could ball. I grew up playing with them. They were all older than me because that was my older sister played with them. And she was 6 years older than me. So I would practice with them when they didn't have enough people to play, and I would practice with them. Bro, they was cold with it, you know, basketball, but football, nah, they wasn't doing none of that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about coaches. Coaches now, coaches when you all were growing up. And I know that the coaching level was different than what we deal with now. Coaches was totally different. I hear my uncle JC. He talks about when he played at Eufaula High School, when he played at OU, and I hear my dad and my other uncles talk about how they played at Eufaula High School and the different coaches and how the coaches cuss you out. They'll pull you by your face mask, do all that. What do y'all think is missing with the coaches now that you all had back then?
What's missing now? Let me say what's going on now. So let's go to that part.
I want to hear this.
They all want to be their buddies.
Yeah, man.
That's the bottom line. They all want to be buddies. They scared of the parents sitting in the stands. Bump that. I mean, we had a coach on my high school team named Neil Hitchcock. You could hear him. Now, I live about good 4 miles away. My mama said he could hear him screaming in the
4 miles?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because he was sitting down, and then we were practicing down like in a little valley, so it would come out up and go over across the track. You could hear it. Crap! Get the fuck, all that. Like, what's wrong with Neil? I said, that's Coach Hitchcock. I mean, you could hear him over the band when he on the field, everything. He was that light. He was about 6'5", big old dude, played football. But he was light. Ooh. He would, yeah.
And who's that coach y'all had at OU? Coach DBs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he just passed away.
You know what I'm talking about? What is his name?
Coach Proctor. Get the ball. Beat the ball.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, beat the ball.
This dude's voice would carry so far.
Yeah.
I said, man, this dude.
Coach Proctor, he was legit. He was legit.
One of the coolest dudes I ever met. Coach Proctor.
I love him to death.
Yeah,
He came up. So one day I'm out there just messing around after practice catching punts. So he walked up to me. He said, "Mark, you return punts?" I said, "Coach, y'all must have watched my high school film close enough." I said, "I returned every punt that was punted to me and kickoffs." He said, "Okay, we get ready to play Colorado." So we I guess we stopped them on their own 20 or whatever, and they punted. They was getting ready to punt. He said, he said, "You ready?" I said, "Man, yeah, put me in the game, coach. Let's go." So I caught it about the 70. I mean, so it was 70 yards, about the, whatever, 20, 30, whatever. And so by the time I catch it, I sit there for a minute, then I went to the right. I can see Coach Fussell running down the sideline, right? So Proctor, after I scored, right? And I said, Coach Proctor, what's was fussing about now? He said, he ran up to, what the fuck is Marcus doing out there? What the fuck is doing?
You gotta watch your game, you gotta watch your game, you gotta watch your game.
That's my dude. He said, and then Coach Proctor said, about that time I turned the corner, swinging around on that 72. He said, that's why I got him back there, Coach. He said, and he walked off. Yeah, Coach Proctor was legit, man.
Yeah, Coach Proctor was a cool dude, man. But I think Marcus was right now. And like I said, I talked to my son about this since he's coaching in high school in Texas. And he said, you have to watch what you say and how you say it to these kids. Because if you say it wrong, they pretty much gonna quit. They don't have the stick-to-itness that we had.
Right.
We didn't take it we took it as a challenge.
Right.
Coach get to you, we took it as a challenge to go back and do it right so he wouldn't fuss at you no more.
Right, exactly.
These kids now, man.
They take it personal.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah, they take it real personal.
Oh, my gosh. And my son grew up getting coached like we coached, like we were coached. So it was pretty rough. It was pretty tough. And usually when you become a coach, you take on some of the traits that the coaches that coached you. And I tell him all the time, man, you can't coach him like you was coached, man. You can't do that. Because these kids is different kids. And that's the fact. I think that's what the coaches don't get to do that coaches used to do. They can't get on them kids, man. I can't stand on your neck. I can't stand on your neck.
So do you think it's more in high school that you can't do that, or are you seeing it more in college also?
Oh, all over.
Both.
All over. I think even in in elementary school. Because think about it. The parents, usually it's the mother that's right on the sideline, right on the fence. Right there.
Come on, baby, come on.
Yeah. Don't scream at my baby.
Right.
That's what's going on. So, and I'm going to take him. Don't let him be good. And she really right there, and you say something to challenge him to make him better, she think you downing him, and all you trying to do is make him better.
Motivate him, yeah.
Motivate him and make him better. And it's tough, man. It's tough.
World.
So do you all see? Because I know when I was when I was coaching and also being coached with Coach Burks, Coach Hill, they got on to you, but they also showed you love.
Right. Exactly.
Do you all think that the love part is missing from them getting on the players?
Hey, it might be too much love.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's right.
They don't know how to balance it out.
Right.
It's too much love.
And I get it, man. These kids, I coached at Booker T in 08. Man, that's when they won. They hadn't won a championship since I left. And in 08, I went back to coach in 08, and we won in 08. Had a good team. Lockett and them was on that team. Calvin Barnett was on that team. We had a good team, And Eric Bennett was on that team. I think they had about 7, 8 D1 kids on that team. Shamil Gary played for the Buffalo Bills. We had like 4 NFL guys on that team. Isaac Bennett went as a freshman, started at University of Pitt as a freshman. Was on that team, and those kids were tough kids. You could get on them. You still had to love on them a little bit, but you could stand on their neck, and they took it as a challenge to go get better, But after that, about 2 or 3 years after that, I saw it decline, and I saw it going away. And the kids wasn't as mentally tough, man. And I think that's the whole issue, kind of. They're not mentally tough. We were mentally tough kids. Think about it. You come in the house, you ain't going back outside.
Right.
You better hit that water hose out there. You want some water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These kids now, it's bottled water. Here you go.
I was watching something the other day. Somebody was speaking at the I guess at practice or whatever, and he said he was coaching somewhere, and he brought up the Oklahoma drill.
Oh, I seen that. That was on the. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, people was hitting me saying, "Mel, what you think of that?" I said, "I don't think nothing of that. That ain't the Oklahoma drill I ran."
So then he was like, "What school in college got a drill? No other school got this."
That's right.
Did nobody want to do the Oklahoma drill? Nobody.
No.
And so he said he was at this college and they did it, and the kid was like, "Coach, this ain't. We can't be doing this."
They was quitting, man.
Yeah.
They was walking. I'm not doing that drill. Yeah, and the drill was different because if we look talking about the same thing, the kid was picking who was coming at him.
Yeah.
I said, no, you had to keep your head on the swivel.
Right. You had to,
you know,
number 10. Boom. Number 10. Up. So it was different.
That was that bull in the ring. No. I hated that.
Yeah.
Bull in the ring. That's what it was. But then he also brought up the Oklahoma drill.
Oklahoma drill was crazy too. That was.
Yeah.
I didn't like to be. I didn't have to be the running back, so I wasn't worried
that was
about
man
it.
That's
man on man.
So you messed up in practice. Yeah. You had to do the bull in the ring.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bull in the ring and Oklahoma drill was the two drills because at Booker T, Tuesdays was defense day. And defensive day, I played quarterback. And on defense, I played free safety. On Tuesdays, I came out in form pads. I was probably the only quarterback play with a neck brace on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but that's the way it was, man. And you was mentally prepared to be a soldier out there, man. And our coaches, my coach was late, great Larry McGee.
Oh, yeah.
And Larry McGee, if he ever did this to you right here, that means shut up. He put them two hands up. Shut up.
Well, y'all had a stipulation where if you was a underclassman, you couldn't come up on
the hill,
to the regular football field.
And that's what that was, Marcus. We had our game field was up here, and we had a practice field that was down behind the stadium. Dude, you didn't get up here unless you was a real one, bro. You didn't get up here.
It was crazy over there.
Patrick Collins, your boy Patrick.
Right.
Yeah, man. You didn't get up there, and you had to carry helmets for the upperclassmen down the hill, and man, it was.
See, you can't. Those things you cannot do. Right. There's no going freshman initiation. Right. There's none of that.
No sopping.
None of that. They tried it. My freshman year, they did try it, but we fought back. We was crazy. You could jump us. We fighting back.
At least y'all stuck together. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we fought back. But we understood that with Coach Hill, we had Coach Hill, and Coach Hill played. He was in the pros, all that, and we knew when we walked in the locker room, if we smelled cigars, we might as well go on over to the hill. Because we supposed to run. And then he called them trunks, where you run and they call them up downs now. Mm-hmm. He called them trunks. We might do 250.
Wow.
We might do 250 in a row. And then he might make you go to the hill and you're doing it face down.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I came back from California I went on vacation, came back from California. Man, first day I came back, we did trunks on the hill. I said, good.
I tell you, man.
I threw up.
But it built character, man. It built character. And that's what the coaches, I didn't realize it, man, till I got in college. I didn't realize what my high school coaches was doing. They was teaching me character. Yeah,
they pulled the best out of
you. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to college and you do something, we had to run in Stillwater. What we had to do was, at the top where the press box was, it was a big OSU football helmet. You get in trouble, you had to go run and touch that helmet, right?
Ooh.
Bro, one thing I was in shape. I could run all day. We wasn't supposed to hit the quarterback. Mike Gundy was the quarterback. I used to wear his ass. If I was on the short side of the field, I was blitzing. I don't care what was called. I done looked back at my safety and said, he know to come get my guy because I'm going, And, boy, I'd hit Mike Gundy. Don't hit the quarterback. It got to the point where I would hit him. They wouldn't have to say nothing. I just get up and run to the top. I was just running to the top because I already knew, But yeah, man, but it built character in us, man, to do those things, and you knew if you didn't do right, this was gonna happen. So
Yeah.
but it built character in
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
I
We
really
had we
think
had,
that's
we
what
had
it
a
was.
shoot with the lineman. It was steel, purity steel. It wasn't no pads,
Right.
wasn't nothing. It was just purity steel.
get
The
down.
teacher there, if you raise your head, you're gonna ring your bell. And,
Yeah.
and I wasn't. I think I was loafing that day, and so Coach Burks, he said, okay. He put this dude named Simon Harjo. This is a Native American. This dude run all day long from sideline to sideline.
Every team had one.
Harjo probably was about 270, strong as an ox, probably running about a 4.5, 4.6 40.
Run all day.
Run all day. He ran from sideline to sideline, and Coach Burks put me in front of him. He said, "You're gonna stay here till you run him over. You can't do that no more."
Nah.
And
Kids
we
quit.
And we stayed there until I ran him over.
Yeah.
I said, I about twice. I said, no, I ain't dealing with this no more.
Yeah. It built character, though. It built character. It made you a better football player. And guess what? It built confidence, too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now, man, like I said, I don't think you can do that. Even in college. I go to Oklahoma State's tour days. I think they had 5 days of tour days. 5 days in an indoor. And they was complaining.
We'll tell y'all about this legendary coach Bob Hill down at Jackson State. Now, this come from Walter Payton. So they beating this team like 50-0 at halftime. So all the guys don't win in halftime. They all talking about what they're gonna do after the game and all that, and they getting ready to do this and that. So they go back on the field, blow the team out. They come in the locker room, start dressing, getting. Bob Hill walked in and said, "Where y'all going?" And they at the stadium now.
I know where that was going.
He said, "Since y'all talking about what y'all gonna do after the game and all this, we finna go back and practice." He made he made the people turn the stadium back and lights back on. They practiced for 2 hours.
Bruh. Coach Switzer didn't never do y'all like that? No. Man, Coach Jones did us like that. Practices was periods, remember?
Right.
So we had 18 periods, 17, 18 periods in a practice. So, it get dark. So we turn the lights on. We in the 16th period, next to the last period. Coach Jones pissed off. Start it over. Everybody get in line, stretch and flex. I'm a freshman. I'm like, what the? I said, is this dude serious, man? We've been out here since 3.
Right.
And he said we finna start practice over? I said, he got to be kidding. Dude, Leslie O'Neal, all these seniors saying, man, we finna start over. I'm like, boy, I'm cussing the whole time. But yeah, man,
That's to remember the Titans stuff.
Man, so,
You talking about Coach Pat Jones.
Pat Jones, matter of fact, I'm getting ready. I'm going to do his radio show on the sports animal, in June.
Okay.
But yeah, man, Pat Jones started over. Little bitty short dude.
Yeah.
We in a huddle, and Coach Jones talks fast, All right, guys, come on now, God. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm a freshman, starting as a freshman. I'm in the huddle. He come in there, and he pull his glasses down, and he looking over his glasses, just cussing us out. And I start laughing. I said, man, is this serious? Is this dude? He can't even cuss good. I came from Larry McGee. You know what I'm saying? Is this the best he got? Yeah, man. So I came from a place, man, where they built character and you didn't lay down.
Right.
So it ain't nothing they could do
And then
to hurt me.
And then your teammates. I mean,
Yeah, they held you accountable, man.
If you messed up in class,
They held you accountable.
if you said the wrong answer,
Yeah.
oh, these dudes gonna embarrass you in class. I mean, you didn't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, man.
So Marcus, you came to OU as a star. What was the toughest thing that you had to deal with when you stepped on the football field at OU?
On the game day?
No.
Oh.
No. When you stepped on that field in Norman as his touted freshman, what was the toughest thing? Did they try to prove a point with you, the teammates, the players?
I never had a problem with the teammates because after that first scrimmage, that was already a wrap. The problem was with Coach Switzer.
Yeah.
Because the way I ran, he thought I wasn't hustling.
Right.
Pete would say, Coach, he outrunning everybody out there. What you want him to do?
Yeah, what more can he do?
So that was my only problem. He would never, I mean, like, I was telling the story the other night. Kid came in named James Lee, takes him 200-meter Olympic sprinter. He started practicing to see if I was truly that fast. Because he walked up to me and said, we done recruited a big old tight end. I looked at him, Coach, I didn't come here to play tight end. I said, I got to prove myself. Look like I got to prove myself. So
That's right, because you did run high.
Yeah.
You ran high.
High, but when I need to get low,
Yeah.
I put my pad levels down.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was going, because when I ran, I had the long stride.
Yeah.
But it looked like I'm not moving to
He had that. I was looking at it the other night on video. It was a crazy. It almost as if he didn't really bend his knees. It was just weird, but he
moving,
gone.
man. That dude was moving.
But it was just a different running style. It was just
Spencer them out there hustle.
Yeah.
I'm just going there grinding like this.
Yeah.
But I'm covering ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Sound like-
he ain't hustling.
Sound like Sterl, because remember, Sterl had that, when he got full stride, it was 5 yards.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
Every other step I was covering 5 yards.
Right. Yeah, that's fast, bro.
Yeah.
so. That was
That's
your
fast.
biggest challenge that you had at OU.
Was getting Coach Swisser's approval.
Yep, that's it. Because remember, I didn't start to the 5th ball game.
Right.
Because they was pushing Stanley for the Heisman Trophy. I just called to my mom, like, man, Mom, this nigga ain't no Heisman Trophy. I know, I said, I ain't bragging to them, but I just had 150 yards against the number 1 defense in the country.
Right.
What I got to do to break, and then he apologized, but that's all he had to do was come up to me and say, man, I'm going to stay on you. Because you didn't have to stay, because I love to compete, and I like to win. So all he had to do was say, Mars, I'm going to stay on you, but just keep doing what you're doing, and walk off. Okay, Coach, that's all you got to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember anything, man. Now that I think about that, what was my hardest thing? My hardest thing pretty much was, man, I played at Booker T, bro.
That's how
You know what I'm saying?
your own teammates.
I
'Cause
played at
they asked
Booker
me,
T.
they said, man, you done been to the pros, Marcus, I said, my teammates.
Yeah, man.
Them jokers didn't care.
Yeah.
They'll
yeah.
make you either gonna bring it
Yeah.
or they gonna bring it to you.
They held you accountable,
Yeah.
man. They held you accountable, and at Booker T it was the same way. So going from Booker T anywhere, I think I was prepared, bro.
Right,
I
was
was
too.
prepared, man. I mean,
Strength
Yeah.
and working out.
That
I came in as a freshman, bench pressing 450.
Yeah.
Because we had a good, our new coach came in, because he coached at a place called Kosciuszko. They always produce big time players. Big, you play them jokers, man, they got beards and stuff like that. Where he got you? So when he brought the same system to Philadelphia, we had a brand new weight room. He would have to come in at 12 o'clock at night and make us shut the weight room down. 'Cause we ain't never had that, but when we had the opportunity, we took advantage of it, and we were ready.
yeah, I played with so many athletes, man. I think my junior year, the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, I think we had like 25 D1 kids on that team. I think the class under me was Reggie Brooks now. Reggie Brooks was sophomores when I was seniors.
Okay.
So my junior year, they were sophomores. They was in there. And then the class over me was Patrick Collins now. Patrick Collins, Alvin, and Calvin Johnson, man.
Yeah.
When I tell you we was loaded, them 3 teams, man, I bet you we had, my offensive line, my left tackle went to Georgia. My left guard went to TU. My right guard went to OSU. My left guard went to OSU. My left tackle went to OSU. So I had D1 linemen, and I was the quarterback. You know, man, I had Dan Bitson, wide receiver, went to TU. I mean, we was.
So Calvin and Alvin then was the year before
over
you.
me. They was 84. I was
Because
85.
that's the team that went and played in the
Enid.
championship.
Enid. And we
Okay.
got beat. And then the next year, I got to play quarterback, and we won.
Because that was in what,
85.
85.
85, we won.
Okay.
And then 84 is when Lydell Carr beat us. 84. And yeah, they hadn't won another one.
So I think they went down there again. My brother's year was 87. And I think they played Muskogee and got beat by
got
Muskogee
beat
down
by
in
Muskogee.
Stillwater.
And my nephew, my AG, that went to TCU, they got beat in the championship by, I think, Carl Albert in Norman at OU. And they had a good team that year. They were supposed to win that year. They was getting to the championship, but they couldn't win it.
So what was it like? Because I know Marcus came from Philadelphia, where y'all had players, but really nobody really knew who they were.
Right.
But you come from Booker T, where y'all had players and everybody knew who they were.
Yeah.
It was like a rock star at Booker T. What was that like? And then going to OSU.
Well, it was normal for me because every year I was there, I think about it, man. I played in the championship game in football and basketball every year except 1 year. I didn't play in football championship my sophomore year, but in basketball, I played in it every year. Because, when we was there, freshmen couldn't play varsity. I got took to court. I tried to play varsity as a freshman. I got took to court. They say freshmen can't play varsity. So that's when I was getting ready to go to Cassia Hall because Cassia Hall wasn't part of OSSAA, and I could have played varsity as a freshman. I get over to Cassia Hall, they want me to play running back because I'm the fastest dude on the team. I said, no, I'm a quarterback, man. I ain't no running back. I'm a quarterback. I'm a free safety. And they had a quarterback that was a senior who I was better than him, but he had been there, and he was a senior. So I said, nah, I ain't going to stay here and play running back. I'm not going to do that. But, so at Booker T, though, man, we was just so loaded. I mean, Spencer Tillman went to Edison because at Booker T, he might not have got to play. Wow. And he was that good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, there was a lot of cats that didn't go to Booker T because it was so stiff. The talent was so high, And this was when my brothers and them was there before me. And when I got there, the talent was ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Booker T's talent was just.
I'd have put him against
crazy.
I'd have put him against any team in the country, man. Because my senior year, you look at that, man. The whole offensive line, defensive line was D1 kids. Our linebackers, one of the two, because we were running 52. One of them was D1. The other one was small school, 4-year, NAIA. Secondary was all D1, and that was defense.
So Marcus, when you chose OU, coming from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and you got around Wayman and their family, them Tisdales are they're gonna draw you in no matter what.
Right.
How big a difference did that play in you at OU?
Well, I wouldn't say the difference. I think it was just
the familiarity.
There you go. That's
that's
it.
who he was, because they was church, and you grew up in a church with your family being preachers and everything. So did that play a big part?
That played a big part. I mean, 'cause I was there, and you got all these guys from Miami and Chicago and Watts and all that kind of stuff going on, and I wasn't. Negroes shooting guns and stuff. Like, what is going? So me and Wayman just started hanging out, me, him, and I hung out with Wayman more than I hung out with the football players.
Right.
So we started every weekend after the games. Man, let's go to Tulsa. Let's go.
Yeah. He was that guy.
Yeah.
He was that guy.
So it wasn't like, I didn't, man, these niggas. Man, these jokers ain't finna get me in trouble. My mama be done showed up here. No. I really didn't know about Campus Corner, up there on Campus Corner, for a while. Because I was like, Mama, I don't know my mama. She done showed up.
His mama's like the woman on Coach Carter goes in his
Oh,
son's
yeah.
classroom.
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about, he know the answer.
No, my grandmama too. Oh no, they done showed up around me to surprise me. Don't be going out doing this. Don't be doing. Oh, they laid the rules down. So I'm like, I don't know my mama. She popped up.
I know. You can't
So
tell me
hanging
not
with
to be
Wayman was a blessing.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
That proved them. That proved them.
Yeah.
Mama probably called back. Mama met this young man.
Yep.
He played a
Well,
good
see,
time.
the thing is, me and Wayman had met before I even came to OU. So they used to have this deal called the Hearst #1 Award. We met in New York at O.J. Simpson used to give it out. And so that's when he said, man, how you come to OU? I said, yeah, man. So we'll connect when I get there. So that's basically what happened.
But did it make your mother more comfortable because of his background
no
and everything?
Doubt. Oh, no doubt. She was very comfortable. Yeah. Because I already told her about why I said, man, Wayman Tisdale, blah, blah, blah. He going to OU too. She said, oh, good. And then I guess she did research on who he was and all that. So I'm like, nah, I wasn't finna hang, these jokers from Miami, Chicago, none of that. That ain't happening.
So in this era, let's talk before we get off here. In this era of football, in pros, in college, but mainly pros now, what do you all see the difference of now and then? Because even in pros, they get onto them,
Right.
but they don't practice like you all practice in the pros when y'all are there. Yeah. What's the difference you see now? Because you was a recruiter you recruited for a minute.
Yeah. It's the same thing like in high school. They hardly don't practice. They don't hit. That's why you see a lot of guys missing tackles in the game because they don't tackle.
I was going to say the physicality.
Yeah, the physicality.
Is the difference, man. I mean, at every level, coaches are afraid because they don't want to get nobody hurt. And we were taught the way you don't get hurt is play hard.
Right.
Yeah.
You practice hard, you play hard, you don't get hurt. These guys, man, they don't. Philadelphia played for Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan, at the time, Indianapolis coach was horrible, right? He picked up a guy from Indianapolis. We practicing, we running, he over there throwing up. He said, I knew I shouldn't have I shouldn't have picked up no dude from Indianapolis. That's what Buddy Ryan said. So, that's the mentality that Philadelphia had. You know what I mean? But the difference I think, is by far the physicality. Think about it, y'all. We talked about this on your show. NFL All-Star game, they had a flag football game. Since when has the All-Star game? You made all NFL and you wearing flags.
Right.
What is that?
Well,
I
that's
the difference.
I get it because they don't want to get nobody. They making all this money, way more money than what y'all made back then.
They are,
and they can't afford for their main guys to get hurt, and then a lot of them don't want to be there anyhow.
They there for the money.
Yeah, and
there for the
so
money.
I get it because like you said, if you don't play hard, you're gonna end up getting hurt.
That's right.
So they'd rather just let them do flag football because they're gonna run pretty little bit harder than what they would in the All-Star game playing tackle. And you're not going to get hit or anything like that. They don't want no Sean Taylor incident in All-Star game no more.
And that's what I think, man, because think about it. They used to play tackle All-Star games.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody get hurt? Me as a player, I know how to hit you and nobody get hurt. You ain't running hard, I'm not going as hard.
Right.
I might be going 80% instead of 100%. You going 80 because we got to understand it.
Right.
Look, man, ain't nobody trying to get hurt out here.
That's it.
So you come, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna wrap you up. Let's just go down and play another play. That was understood.
But y'all made it look like it was y'all was really going. Where these cats, you knew. They wasn't going hard. You knew they wasn't doing nothing, but you all wasn't going hard 400%. But you all made it look like you were.
Exactly.
We had an understanding. We had an understanding on how it would go. We did that in practice, even in college.
I mean, I watched the All-Star game. They go half speed, until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Back in the day. It's money time now. We better strap it up because we trying to get this extra bonus.
That's right. Remember we talked about
Yeah,
that.
that extra money.
Yeah, that extra money, especially in the playoffs, man. We did it. We knew they do it now in basketball. If you watch the first quarter, they're gonna come out and play hard. Then they're gonna coast into the second quarter. They're gonna start the second quarter pretty good, and they're gonna coast into halftime. Third quarter, they're gonna come in and go hard in the paint. Third quarter and coast. Fourth quarter, they finna play hard.
Yep.
That's the way it is, man. That's the way they do now. When we used to play hard, the whole game. That's the difference.
So you got the NCAA talking about going to 2014 playoff.
Right.
And the SEC is fighting them, saying they want a 16-team playoff. Which one do you all agree with better, 24 or 16? I like 16. 24 I think is too watered down.
Too much.
I think to me 16 is watered down, but because I don't need no team that I know can't beat no OU, Alabama, anybody.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So, and that's what you're going to end up doing. They think you're going to get more.
Nah,
D1,
let's
but it's not.
stick with the 16.
Right.
You might need to go on back to 14.
I think 14, really 12, because number 1 through number 12 probably can be competitive. 13, 14, 15, 16, a number 1 playing a 16 is fixed. Ain't nobody finna watch that game.
Right.
Well, I think it all depends on who you have in there.
Right.
True,
Now,
that's true.
now if they gonna bring in
That's
one of
true.
these mid majors in there that we know ain't fit to do nothing, like a Memphis or somebody like that we know ain't fit, then no, I don't want to watch. But if I'm gonna bring a 16 team that's coming from the Big Ten, that's a good 16 team,
Right.
then I'm more amped to watch it because now it all depends on how you gonna play that day. But it all depends on who you bringing up in
Right.
there.
If you bring a 16 team that done lost 4 games. Come on, bro.
But that
Come on, man. If they not SEC or one of the power conferences with 3 losses, I probably don't want to see them play.
Right.
Now I heard the other day, since both we got an OSU guy and an OU guy here, they said if they go to the 2014 playoff, they probably will bring back the OU OSU game.
I heard they trying to bring it back anyway.
Do y'all?
They need to.
Yeah.
It's a rival.
Yeah,
In-state rival.
it should never
Still
stop.
got Ole Miss and Mississippi State playing down
Right.
in Mississippi.
Right.
But I think part of that was because of your former.
Gundy. It might have been. I was told Gundy wanted the game.
Well, to me, that it is a revenue booster
Yeah.
for either school.
Both schools.
Because I know when OU come to O State,
Packed.
sold out.
Every time. Bedlam sold out it don't matter if one was 10-0 and one was 0-10. It's sold out. And you know what? The record didn't matter. It was going to be usually
Good game, yeah.
So but yeah, that's the way that was. Yeah.
At some time it was. They did have some good ones.
Yeah, I never at least our 4 years, it was a good game every year.
Yeah.
It was a good game every year.
Well, y'all had your 4 years. Y'all had running backs and players, Leslie O'Neal.
We was
and,
loaded.
Yeah.
We were loaded. I think out of my 4 years there, 1 or 2 years we ended up being ranked higher than OU. They beat us, but we ended up being ranked higher because I think they lost later. You know what I mean?
What is it like? Because both of y'all played in a Bedlam game. What is it like playing in Bedlam?
That was probably the closest thing to a pro game
Yeah, pretty much.
that I think you
Besides
the
us,
energy.
us playing Texas.
Right. The
Yeah.
energy.
And so we played Texas, Nebraska too.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were
So-
all in our conference. That was
Yeah.
all our conference. OU was, but y'all played Texas, OU and Nebraska.
Right.
But what was that week? What was that Bedlam week like?
Oh, it was
In
it
that,
was
what
it
was the
intense,
atmosphere?
man.
What was it like?
It was intense. It was high energy. It was very high energy, man. I always played my best games against OU.
Did
Every
y'all?
time.
Because I know on weekends during the season, a lot of times you hear OSU players either went to Stillwater or
Oh, yeah.
stayed in Stillwater and went down to Norman.
Mm-hmm.
That week was there any friendship, any conversation, anything?
Oh yeah.
Not-
Bedlam week.
Well, I didn't.
I think we had conversation, but it was more noise talking.
Yeah, I wasn't saying nothing. No way. So
it was more noise talking.
See, wasn't nobody gonna say nothing to you anymore.
He bigger
You
than
bigger than everybody,
man.
and then they ain't got time to be getting ran over.
That's what I'm saying. Who gonna poke that bear? You know what I'm saying?
That's like talking noise to Jordan. Who gonna sit there and talk noise to him?
Yeah,
you do it one time, that you figure it out. I don't say nothing.
We tell him, hey man, leave that dude alone, man. We don't need him. No extra. But yeah, man, that game was by far the high energy. It was OU and Nebraska every year. Every year, OU Nebraska was the game. I remember when was this? Thurman was a junior. I might have been a sophomore then. Somehow, pre-game, day before you go to a movie. Somehow we ended up in the same movie as Nebraska. Neil Smith, Broderick Thomas, all these dudes. We in there talking noise, man. We end up having fights. They turn the lights on, kick all us out. Yeah, man, that was Nebraska. How we got to the same movie, I have no idea. But we on one side, they on the other side. Everybody talking noise. Next thing you know, we done started fighting. Somebody threw something, and it was on. Now,
because Barry was what, a freshman? You was there?
He was a year behind me. Yeah.
Did you know he was going to be Barry?
I did.
Then
I did. I'll tell you this, and this is the honest truth, man. Barry got in the game. We playing Nebraska at home. This is a true story. Thurman couldn't get nothing. They was all over him, bro. He come in at halftime. He said, "Quit giving me the ball." That's what he said. "Quit giving me the ball, man." We put Barry in. Barry ran for over 100 yards second half. I could call that up because they didn't have no film on Barry. They had no clue who that dude was. Coach Switzer told his starting defense, do not hurt Thurman because they going to bring in Barry. We don't want that smoke. Do not hurt Thurman. Make sure he stay in the game. That's what Coach Switzer said about Barry. And the killer thing, he never did none of that stuff in practice. We had no problem tackling that dude in practice. None. And in the game, we looking at each other like, where'd that come from? He don't even practice that stuff.
Game day, baby.
Yeah, he don't even practice that stuff.
So was he not he practiced hard, but he didn't practice hard?
I think he didn't want to embarrass us. That's what I think. I asked him this to this day. I said, man, was you taking it easy on us to make us think if we could tackle you, we could tackle anybody? I asked him that, seriously. He just laughed at me. He just laughed. Come on, man. But I seriously think because the stuff he did in the game, I never seen him do that stuff, man. I never seen him do it at practice, ever.
So how was it seeing him in the game and you was like?
I couldn't believe it, man. We used to come off the field and we wouldn't sit on the bench. We standing up watching this dude. We want to see what he finna do.
Yeah.
He
was box office.
Oh my God, man. Dude was unbelievable, man. I mean, I was so lucky, man. I got to play with Barry and Thurman. I don't know if too many people can say, other than OU, you could play, they played with Joe Washington,
David Overstreet,
you know what I'm saying?
Billy Sam.
They was loaded like that.
Yeah.
Pruitt.
Thomas Lyon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that them and OU, OU had Jarvis Redwine. They had,
I call it running back.
Yeah. So, but it ain't a whole bunch of people can say they played. I mean, they running backs was Hall of Famers, man. I got 2 Hall of Fame running backs.
And a Heisman Trophy winner.
There you go. So that was really amazing to me, right, to be able to play with that and play with them every day, and still today we got that relationship, man, that camaraderie, that. And I hate it for kids now because they'll never have that.
Never have it.
So did you ever take it easy on anybody in practice?
Nope. I know he didn't. I know he didn't.
He said it with a straight face too, real quick.
Nope. So I got some guys I played with the Rams when I came back with the Rams. They hit me on Facebook. Man, what you mad every day? No, I come here to eat and I ain't come here to play.
I could have answered that one for you. I already know.
Boz used to work. One day we had a scrimmage, and so I sit down, He came up to me and said, "Man, why y'all run so hard and so fast?" I said, "Man, welcome to the Big 8."
He ain't lying. Yeah, man. The Big Eight was a running conference,
Right.
bro. I mean, people don't realize. I don't think people realize how good Hartley Dykes was for us. Hartley Dykes played with Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders. That means we was handing the ball off, bro. We wasn't throwing it.
Right.
And this dude had the passing record. He would get maybe 8 to 10 balls thrown to him a game, and he had to catch all of them, bro. He had to.
Yeah, Harley
Because
Dykes
we was
nice.
handing that sucker off to Thurman and Barry.
Right.
So people don't, that's why I say I don't think they realize, and that was the only year, my freshman year, because we were freshmen together, me and Hart Lee. That was the first year ever that OSU got the #1 player in Texas and the #1 player in Oklahoma. That's what OU did all the time. They get the #1 player in Oklahoma, #1 player in Texas. They did it several years. That was the first time OSU had ever done that, man. So that was huge for OSU. That's how we changed the culture in Stillwater. Stillwater wasn't used to winning 10 games every year. We did that. Now, they kind of do it, but we was the first ones to do that. So, yeah, man, but that's what it was, and I think it was a totally different culture. It was a totally different time, and to see that come back, it's going to be difficult, man, because football is a different game of football now.
So them Nebraska teams bring that wood.
Yes, sir. Hardest I got hit ever was in a Nebraska game. My brother tells this story probably better than anybody. My brother was a football player. So he's down on the sideline. We playing Nebraska, in Nebraska.
Cold.
Man, it wasn't cold this year.
Okay.
But
Who's
they
cold
ran,
now with y'all?
they run this power sweep where they pull both guards. right?
Okay.
And I'm a corner. I was taught to go up, hit them with your inside shoulder, and skate out to make sure you got outside
Size
containment,
leverage.
right?
Yeah.
Man, this lineman hit me so hard, bro. I'm in the air. And I'm telling myself, when am I going to come down? Because I'm still in the air. Boom, I hit the ground. I come to the sideline. My brother said, I bet you ready now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got Ricky and Mike that's
Yeah.
gonna come on.
yeah.
We're gonna try to get Urban Fryer on too.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah, hardest I ever got hit. Right there. I'm like,
Nebraska.
What's
I
the hardest
thought-
you
but
ever got hit,
yeah.
Marcus?
Shit, he hit hard.
That's what I'm saying. It got to be one time that someone hit you and you was like, okay, I see. I gotta run harder now.
It never happened.
I'm telling you, man.
All the time, in that Texas game when I got that concussion, but that was my fault because I dropped my head and dude hit me in the back of the head. That's when I got that concussion. Otherwise, man, you just don't know, bro. I grabbed what was the little defensive back? He was from Tulsa. One day in practice, he running up to me.
Roy Owens.
That wasn't Roy. I want to say. I want to say he was from Tulsa though.
Yeah, I was thinking. I remember.
It wasn't. He was number 33. I don't know where he's from, but so I was just like, man, why is the dude running up to me? I just grabbed his face mask and I just grabbed him and throw him in the end zone.
He might as well turn his uniform in. He's done. He's done.
We having a scrimmage. They started throwing flags and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's done, bro. He can't come back and play no more. just go be the water boy.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you
My
can't
high
be that.
school, y'all ain't finna dog me. But I got guys on the round right now. Man, you came back, man. Why you like you mad every day?
You trying to make a spot?
That's it. That's y'all respect.
Yeah. You can tell the NFL. I'll probably say the last of where it was really physical was probably Ray Lewis against Adrian Peterson.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we won't get that no more.
No. Yeah, you can't hit like that anymore.
Yeah.
You hit like that, you out of the game.
Right.
So that is it's a totally different game, man. And I'll tell you, both sports, football and basketball. Spud Webb, a good friend of mine. I hang out with Spud all the time, man. And I asked him, man, you watch basketball? He said, I can't. I'm like, you can't? He said, yeah, man, it ain't nothing but three-point shooting and everybody standing around the three-point line.
That's it.
And he said, I can't even watch that no more. You ask football players, man, I can't watch this, man.
Right.
You can't even. So it's so different that old players can't even watch it, man.
I don't watch it.
I'm telling you, I can't tell you the last time I sat and watched a whole game.
Only games I watched this past year was the playoffs.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because they play hard in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They play hard in the playoffs. But you can't hit. I'm watching these guys missing all these tackles because they're afraid to hit them because they finna get kicked out. So it's tough to watch, man. It's tough to watch for an older player.
Yeah. Hey, we want to thank y'all for listening to the 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show. This special show that we had today. Hey, we love it. It's exciting. Hey, I love this, man. This is awesome, man. When you interview two awesome recruits, stars, All-Americans from OSU. Oh, we got OSU and OU sitting next to each other.
My dude,
And both of them got their gear on, too.
Yeah, representing.
But, hey,
How we do it, baby?
We want to thank y'all, man. And, hey, just like normal, we got the scripture of the week. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who could be against us? That's Romans 8 and 31.
Amen.
All right, we want to thank y'all for listening to the show.
Amen. It's the remix. It's the remix. It's the remix. Amen. Amen.
Thank y'all for listening to 2Dawgs Sports Talk Show. Hey, make sure y'all catch 4th and 22 on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on all social media platforms. 4th and 22 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, you bark at us,
We bark back.
We already won 'cause the battle belong to Jesus. Hear me say it